1929. The financial house of cards collapses, and the overinflated stock market plunges into a Great Depression.
There certainly were similarities between the recent meltdown in the U.S. and global financial systems and what happened during the Great Depression.
It started in America, but practically overnight an economic blizzard swept the world.
You know, both events occurred because there was a collapse in the functioning of the financial system.
It started with the subprime mortgage collapse, but there were a number of other factors that led to the crisis itself.
And it has to do with lack of accountability, weak disclosure, weak governance, and regulatory gaps.
And we think we've now avoided the Great Depression. There's still considerable consequences yet to work through, but the cascading downward spiral effect appears to have been avoided.
In the fall of 2009, the Robert H. Smith School of Business launched the Center for Financial Policy with some very lofty goals.
The Smith School of Business has some of the best finance faculty in the world. They are really well known by their academic peers, and they are really well known in a number of the government agencies that they work in. What I really want to do is to get this kind of knowledge and thought leadership out into the real world.
So basically, we want to have a premier global center on financial policy, reaches an education that impacts capital allocation, corporate performance, and the stability of the financial system.
The center is going to provide, first and foremost, an ability to kind of bridge the various constituencies that are weighing in on financial policy discussions today. That includes our business leaders, government officials, academics, each coming at it from a different perspective, pulling together and synthesizing those different viewpoints to come to common ground.
So all these different constituencies in a dialogue around burning issues that have to do with financial policy in the United States.
The center will have an education arm and a research arm. And from a research standpoint, we'll be promoting and supporting and sponsoring research that actually helps influence policy.
The internships, for example, that we have for the next generation of business and government leaders to put them in a position to understand what exactly the financial crisis is doing to the overall economy and how they can help resolve some of those issues.
Dean Anand's vision has resulted in a strong team. Lema Sinbet, the center's director, providing both leadership and strategy, Managing Director Cliff Rossi, an industry expert from Citibank, and Executive in Residence Bill Longbreak. Their extensive academic, business, and government experience positions the center to provide objective, unbiased thought leadership to policymakers with a home base in one of the most powerful places in the world.
The Smith School is ideally positioned very close to Washington, D.C. to have access to both important people and also a significant amount of data. And we feel that we can play a much more significant role in the future of global finance than almost any other business school.
We have one of the finest business schools in the country, terrific finance faculty, but quite frankly, other departments that will be engaged in the policy-making process as well.
Financial policy doesn't mean we're focused only on banks or only on insurance companies or private equity firms, although all of those would be key stakeholders in our center.
And there are burning issues out there. For example, executive compensation. Not only is it a matter of our executives being paid too much, but the real issue is tying pay to performance and results. And how do you best do that?
Specifically, we need to realign the incentive structure of the management and shareholders in such a way so that when people take risks, that they're both rewarded for it, and at the same time we'll find that if things turn out to work against them, that they're actually also, they feel that pain as well.
As we enter an era of greater accountability in business, the Center for Financial Policy is ready to establish its presence, from the issues being hotly debated in Congress to those on the horizon, anticipating and providing solutions in an effective, timely way.
I'm hoping that this will be a thriving center with a lot of dynamic people and a lot of dynamic activities.
I'm very excited about the center, and this is something that we've been thinking about, and it turns out that we're thinking about this center before the current crisis. and that actually reinforced the timeliness of the center.
What the center can do and what the Smith School can do is provide research, analysis, commentary, recommendations about issues, potential problems in the financial system long before the problems actually occur.
And time is of the essence to be able to weigh in on these things.